Alrighty guys, what is going on? It's your boy RickyMoto. Welcome back to yet another video, and today is a very special day. Today is October 9th, and if you guys know anything about the motorcycle world, the Yamaha R9 has just been announced. And today we're going to be going through the features, what's new, doing our first impressions, and also they made a short little announcement on the R3 as well, which we'll save for a different video. I get a lot of comments from people asking me which bike they should get for, either a first bike or a second bike, etc, etc. And my go-to answers has always been either the R3 or the R7, and that's because those are the bikes that I've owned. But now we have a lot more new options here, so maybe this video can help you guys decide which bike will be your next bike. So, without further ado, let's jump into this video looking at the Yamaha R9. So the R9 has been a long-awaited motorcycle, which is based on the MT-09 platform, very similar to the concept of the R7, which was based on the MT-07. But this time around, we've seen some major changes, which is pretty cool because we haven't seen any new refreshes for a while now. So first things first, let's take a look at the design of the Yamaha R7. So as you can see, it still looks very Yamaha-esque with this, very simple and clean look. The front end is where you really see that design change. We have new winglets that are integrated within the original fairing. It's not like an aftermarket add-on, it's like literally part of the bike, which is pretty cool to see. And the R9 has been kind of designed to focus on both track use and also street use. And so it's nice to see that they've taken some, inspiration from the track side and added these really aggressive fangs or winglets, so to speak, on the front end. And we also see this exhaust system on the bottom that is kind of hanging really low, and the actual muffler tip that, exhausts the air is pointed straight down. This is the same sort of exhaust setup that we see on the MT-09, which creates a really, clean look. It's not something that like sticks out like a pipe, coming out somewhere. And I'm pretty sure that aftermarket exhaust that will be coming out for this bike might feature the classic look where, the pipe is kind of extending out towards the side. But it is something to note that this is still based off the MT-09, which is why they have this very low-hanging exhaust. It does kind of have the R6 style mirrors with, the LEDs on each side for the turn signals. And the front end still has a very sleek look. It does kind of adopt some of the R7 styling with the very slim headlights that I do like. And also still kept the center headlight that also was an R7 thing. And I gotta say, this whole winglet design that they integrated in here is pretty tasteful. It's not like a sore thumb, it's not like it's sticking out in your face. Overall, I gotta say the design of the bike really looks aggressive and really clean. It still retains that very Yamaha style, but you can definitely see some major changes over the previous generations of their sport bikes. And there are 3 color options that you can choose from. You can either go with the fully blacked out one, the Yamaha style blue, along with a new white one with some, red accents and whatnot, which is nice and tasteful. Now, when it comes to the performance of the R9, it's going to be very similar to the MT-07. It is still using the same CP3 engine, which is a 3-cylinder engine, but it does get a new ECU and a new transmission. So it's going to give you a little bit of extra performance over the MT-09, pushing around 120 horsepower. Now, another new thing that came to the R9 is a new redesigned frame. So this is a little chart here to show you the differences between the R9, R1, and R7. And the R9 is kind of like a middle ground. It has both aspects of the R1 and the R7, making it a very track-focused yet street-focused bike. It's a very well-balanced sort of frame. And the frame itself is also gravity-casted aluminum, so it's going to be the lightest frame ever made for the Yamaha Sport line. So it's going to really change the whole overall feel of the bike. And the MT-09, I've never personally ridden one, was already known to be a very well handling bike. But the R9 just takes it to a whole nother level with much more performance, a lighter frame, and a whole redesign of the actual frame structure. So you're gonna get a much better handling bike that is very aggressive while very balanced for the street. Looking at the dashboard here, personally, I think it looks a little strange with the keyhole a little bit off center to the left. That's just a design thing. It doesn't really affect the bike in any way, shape, or form. But what is new that we do see here is a KYB suspension. And this is gonna give you a whole bunch of flexibility when it comes to adjusting your suspension, the dampening, the preload, etc, etc. So same thing with the rear. As you can see, this shock here, is fully adjustable, which is really nice. Also, we see some upgrades in the brake system compared to the MT-09. The R9 has a bigger rotor. So you're getting a lot more braking performance, a lot more better cooling, and everything on this brake system is Brembo, which is basically the top of the line stuff. Everything so far that we've covered about the R9 has been just quality over quality over quality. As you can see, we have 320mm disc compared to the 298mm on the MT-09. more surface area, better cooling, and better braking performance. Now, the only downside is that it comes with ABS as standard on all of the R9 models. And if you do want to disable the ABS, you can only disable it for the rear. The front is always going to have ABS enabled, and it's more of a safety feature. I know some people don't like running ABS because it feels like it's controlling you rather than you controlling the bike. Obviously, if you're a pro, you want to have total control of your braking system. Sometimes you want to allow a little bit of slippage yourself, but yet again, this bike also kind of has a bit of a street focus, so it's not a full track bike. So some of these, safety features are something that you do have to consider. In terms of the electronics, we do get an updated screen here, or an IMU. You have 9 modes of traction control, 3 modes of slide control, 3 lift control system, and the brake control system. So there's a lot of stuff you can adjust. And for those who are interested in shifting, quick shifting, etc., rev matching, I know that's a big thing on this channel. A lot of people are asking about how to rev match. I made a lot of rev matching videos, especially for beginners. That's a kind of a difficult thing to do. Well, the R9 got you covered. It has the auto blipper in both directions of the gear shifts. There you go. This just made it noob proof, if you will. But the biggest thing that I'm very surprised about the R9 is the price point. The Yamaha R9 comes in at $12,499. That is insane, because that's how much I paid for my freaking R7. It's 2024, inflation's through the roof, but Yamaha still manages to offer a very reasonable price range for the R9. So here is more, detailed specifications if you guys want to screenshot it or pause the video and whatnot. But pretty much a lot of the stuff is still the same as the MT-09 with some minor changes, but those changes really make a big difference on the overall performance, the styling, the handling, and everything. It's going to be available next year in March 2025. So technically you can't get one right now, but if you want to order one or be on the wait list and whatnot, you can definitely explore that. So if you are in the market for a new bike and you were considering the R9, I definitely think it's pretty worth the price. Now, I won't say that it's a beginner bike. It's definitely not targeted for new riders. This is great for a second bike or a third bike. The R7, you can kind of get away with it. It's a mid-tier bike. It's good for people who kind of have experience, but if you are new, the R7 is still manageable to learn on. In terms of availability, this is a pretty big release that I think even when that time comes, 2025, March, it might still be a little bit difficult to get your hands on one. The same thing kind of happened with the R7 when it first released, or even the R3 as a matter of fact. All Yamaha sport bikes recently have been very difficult to get brand new. So if you are, actually considering the R9, I would suggest, starting to prepare for it. Look at the waiting list, try to see if you can put a pre-order in or something. Start talking to your dealership if you can get your name in there. But yeah, overall, I think the R9 is a pretty solid bike, and we have to still kind of see what's going to unfold over the next few days. But at least from the spec sheet, at least from the main, announcement side of things, it does seem pretty promising to say the least. Now, am I gonna be getting the R9? I don't know. I didn't necessarily plan for it. I'm not even done with the R7 build, so I still want to finish that before even considering jumping to a new bike. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Make sure to drop a like and a comment below. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the post notifications to see when I upload. It's been your boy RickyMoto, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.